In this video, I'm going to show you how to put in a hook and eye onto your garment. A hook and eye is a small clasp. It's usually found above a zipper. It's found at the top of dresses, skirts, and pants. So let's get started. What I have here is an example of a hook and eye. Right here on the right, this is the hook. It goes straight out and then it curves around and comes back toward the beginning of where it started, thereby forming a hook. So you usually always have this on one side. On the other side, we have two different versions of an eye. You have a straight eye here on the bottom, and on the top you have a round eye. So what eye you would use is dependent on your situation. If you look over here on this picture, you'd see that you use the round eye if you have two straight edges that you're trying to clasp together. If you look on the top picture, you would use a straight eye if you had one side of your fabric that would overlap with the other side. So this eye is stitched to the right side of your fabric or your project. The hook is sewn on the wrong side, and down here both of them are sewn on the wrong side. So it's very easy to stitch them into your project. You stitch through the holes that are on the end, so right here, or here and here. And then in addition to that, you would also do some stitches right at the end of your hook, just to secure this part and then also the part that's at the end here. So I'm going to go ahead and start sewing some into my project. I have my hook and eye pinned in my skirt, and it's pinned on the wrong side of the skirt. I put little white pins through the holes on either side of the hook and the eye just to hold it for placement for me. On the right hand side, we have the hook part of the hook and eye. The hook is facing up towards you, so the holes in the bottom part of the hook is going to be perfectly flush with the fabric. You put the edge of the hook on the edge of the fabric. On the other side, we have the rounded eye. You're going to put that lined up with the hook, but you're going to have the rounded part of the eye overlapping the edge of that side of the fabric, so it sticks out a bit from the edge. That just makes it a little easier to then hook on the hook. So from this point now, we're going to start stitching through the little circles that are on the end of both the hook and the eye to secure them to the fabric. I've already sewn one side of my hook right here, so now I'm going to move on to the other side. And it's actually not that hard, but the thing is that you want to stay pretty shallow in your sewing, because you only want to grab one layer of fabric here and not push your needle all the way through both layers so that you see your stitching on the right side of your project. It might look kind of funny, so you want to be careful. So all I'm doing is I have to keep adjusting this hook because it likes to move, so that's what makes it kind of difficult. But I'm just going all the way around the hole. And now I'll go one on this side. And now we'll go up on this side. So you're just going all the way around. Let's say you have stitching to secure it from all sides. And sometimes as you're sewing, you just have to keep making adjustments so this stays on straight. And then once I'm done with this part, I'm then going to do stitches across here, but not on top, underneath. So underneath here, I'm just going to do a few stitches across. So then that secures this bottom half of the hook. And then when I'm done with that, then I'm going to sew my eye onto this side. So I'm just going to finish up here. And then once you've done enough stitches, all you're going to do is just go through a couple of these threads here and then go through your loop to tie a knot. I would do it twice just to make sure it's not going to come out. I'm now going to go through the end part right here of my hook, and I'm going to go up through just a single layer of fabric. So it's the fabric that's folded over on your waistband. And I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to go back through this layer here, being sure not to hit the right side of the waistband. So you're not going all the way through. I'm going to go up. And I'm going to go through. Careful not to get that fabric underneath. There we go. And the string, the thread here just slips underneath the top part of the hook and secures it underneath. I'm only going to do a few of these stitches. Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple of these threads. I'm going to go through my loop and then pull all the way through. That ties a knot, and I always do it twice, just to play it safe. So I've sewn both sides on, and this is how it works. The round part just goes over the hook, and there you go. Your garment has been clasped. And then you just pull it apart, and now it's undone. So that's it. That's how you put in a hook and eye.
Our book, Professor Pincushin's Beginner Guide to Sewing, Garment Making for Nervous Newbies, is now available to order. Go to professorpincushion.com/books or click on the link in the description to see a list of vendors where you can purchase it.